Football is officially back here on this edition of Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford here from Oxnard, California, the Cowboys training camp site. Rob Phillips, Kyle Youmans here for DallasCowboys.com. And like I said, football is back. The preseason is underway, and we got our first look of the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night, a 16-3 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But when it's not about winning and losing, what is it really about, Rob?
It's about nobody getting hurt, first of all. And the reports coming out of the game, post-game, were that they dodged any kind of serious injury. So that's great. That's a win in itself, Kyle, because especially with an extra preseason game, you want to make sure everybody's healthy. The Cowboys left 16 players back here in Oxnard, guys dealing with injuries or coming off of injuries in the offseason. Dak Prescott among that group. So they came out of this relatively healthy, it seems like, and they got some good work in. And Mike McCarthy was pleased with certain things he saw. It was a loss. There were some things, obviously, to clean up, but that's what happens in preseason. It's not always sloppy. Often it is sloppy.
I think one of the best ways to describe it is it was the first preseason game, and just leave it at that. It was the first preseason game. There's 3 more to go, and then, of course, the opener September 9th against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I want to talk about Garrett Gilbert. You mentioned Dak Prescott staying back, much of the offensive line staying back as well, including Zach Martin and Tyron Smith. But what did the backup quarterbacks look like? Garrett Gilbert was the first one out there.
Yeah, it's like in his contract to play against the Steelers. You know, that was his one start of his career last year for Dak, and they're not concerned about Dak's shoulder injury. They're continuing to rest that strained muscle, but it was an opportunity for Garrett Gilbert, and he had 2 drives to start the game where they moved the ball effectively as an offense with several starters in there. Came up with a couple field goal attempts, and that the red zone is a situation where they're still trying to get better as a starting offense. Weren't able to convert touchdowns there, but he had some nice completions, showed some nice poise, and I think that was something to build off of. Ben DiNucci got in there in the second half. Cooper Rush got in there in the second quarter, and the protection, a little bit more of an issue, it seemed like, in those situations. But again, I think from Gilbert's standpoint, that is encouraging because he's trying to win that backup job.
Is the protection in front of those guys one of the biggest, focus points going into the remainder part of camp, is trying to figure out depth at the offensive line?
Well, for sure. And sometimes that can affect the evaluation of quarterbacks in these preseason games. And look, there were some throws missed as well, but they thought all 3 guys made some plays and did some good things here and there. And again, it's something to build off of going into not only preseason next week, but we'll talk about the Rams coming in here pretty soon too.
Getting some extra reps and extra ability from some of those backup quarterbacks was certainly a priority on Thursday. It was a big talking point, the fact that the defense shut out the Steelers in the first half. What else did Mike McCarthy have to say about the defensive performance on Thursday when we return on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford?
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep, only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford, built for Texas, built for you. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Rolling along here on this edition of Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, and we got a chance to see the Cowboys' revamped defense for the first time, or at least a part of it. We saw some of the notable players sitting out on Thursday in the Hall of Fame game against the Steelers. But Rob, what did you think about what you saw from the defense and some of the rotations they put out there?
Yeah, we saw new defensive coordinator Dan Quinn up in the booth calling the action, and it was an opportunity mostly, I think, for the young guys to get in there and build on that communication that we're seeing out here on this field. And they've been sharp in these practices, but several starters sitting out, resting. So you saw basically all 8 draft picks, I think, out there making plays. And I think one thing to watch as we get into preseason, how is the run defense? Because that's been an issue there. Micah Parsons, the first-round pick, helped in that regard. I believe the Steelers only had 2.5 yards a carry. So that is something to build off of, again, even though it's preseason and you're not seeing all the starters out there.
And that was a Steelers offense that struggled with the run in 2020 and went out and drafted Najee Harris in the first round of the 2021 draft. So good things from the defense on the run side of things. There were definitely some things to work on, I think, on that side of the football as well. Here's what Mike McCarthy had to say about the defensive adjustments that were made on Thursday.
From my point of view, I'm watching combinations of players, substitution patterns and just the mechanics of, tempo in and out of the huddle, communication, line of scrimmage. I thought the defensive communication was good. The adjustments that they made were fluid. I thought that, the defense being put in some tough field positions, the way they rallied. So we didn't win the game. I think the turnover ratio clearly being -2, and the 4th and 1 was a big play as far as the way the scoring went. But I thought our guys did a lot of good things tonight. I feel good about the foundation that we're building, and just as we talked about coming in here and expressed it after the game, this is a 3-day window for us. It's we got a lot of work. We have tonight's game, and then we flip around here Saturday, and we got the Rams for in our inter-squad practice. So the way we played our players was really with both the game tonight and the practice Saturday in mind. So.
Special thanks to Sleep Number for our Mike McCarthy sound, and he said it there, and he alluded to it even in his post-game press conference before the soundbite, but Micah Parsons definitely did make a big impact on that side of the football. What did he show you on Thursday night?
Well, he found the football right off the bat, and it was a botched snap by the Steelers, but that's kind of Micah Parsons' game. He just finds a way to be around the football, and they moved him around just like they have in practice in some different situations. He blitzed. He had a nice stop in run defense as well. And that's what they like about him. He has a nose for the football, and they can put him in different spots and make him versatile to help this defense out. That was an impressive start for him because he has been one of the most impressive players in these practices based off flash plays alone.
A fumble recovery on the first drive of his NFL career. I guess it was preseason, but still he was able to find the football, right place, right time. Will he be in the right place, right time on Saturday? Because, well, we've got more football coming your way from Oxnard. The Rams come to town, and we'll tell you about it next on Inside Cowboys Training Camp presented by Ford.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Final segment here of Inside Cowboys Training Camp driven by Ford. Alongside Rob Phillips, I'm Kyle Youmans. And Rob, we do have some more exciting football on the way. We had the preseason game Thursday, and now we get an inter-squad, or actually not an inter-squad, a joint practice with the Los Angeles Rams as they come down the road from their practice facility in Thousand Oaks to take on the Cowboys in Oxnard. What are you looking for, and what is the priority for this coaching staff heading into Saturday's practice?
I would say this is like 1.5 preseason games this weekend because it's not going to be live. It's not going to be actual live action like we saw the other night. But it's going to be some good work. And Mike McCarthy said, some situational stuff. Some of the things we've seen out here, they're going to try to do with the Rams in more of a safer environment, controlled environment than you have in a preseason game. And that's a good team to go against. They've got a lot of talent. And look, there's some things to clean up from this game against the Steelers. There were a couple turnovers. Mike McCarthy wants complimentary football. They lost the turnover battle, had a fumble on special teams. So some good work and some good matchups too.
Yeah, what are some of those matchups that I think, at least I'm excited about watching? This is a good Rams team coming in. Is there any that stick out to you?
Well, we'll see on paper. On paper, there's some good ones. I mean, we'll see how Sean McVay wants to use his players in this game, in this joint practice. But Aaron Donald, how the Cowboys offensive line up front, Tyler Biadasz, Connor Williams, maybe Zach Martin, how that work is handled, and Jalen Ramsey, CeeDee Lamb, if we see that would be must-see TV, basically. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one overall. Ramsey, part of that Madden 99 club. Aaron Donald as well. They've got a massively good defense. It was the #1 defense a year ago. And going up against the Cowboys offense that's still trying to find their rhythm, I think this is going to be a really good test for Coach Kellen Moore and company moving into Saturday's practice. For Rob Phillips, I'm Kyle Youmans. That's going to do it for us here on Inside Cowboys Training Camp driven by Ford. We'll see you later in the week again here from Oxnard, California.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp presented by Ford was brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford. Built for Texas, built for you.